All right, I see.
Hey everybody, welcome to American Court. Having some technical issues tonight, but we're going to get through it. We're going to start with Judge Shackelford, and we've got some Judge Simpson and some other judges too. So appreciate y'all coming on. Appreciate you sticking around, being patient. Let's get started on this.
And Mr. Phelps is back out. I'm trying to get. Oh wait, we have ASM Properties back out. We have Mr. Ruark here. This is 2501-0741 ASM Properties versus Blair Bailey and Sterling Phelps. Counsel.
Ron Ruark for the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Mr. Phelps, can you tell me your first and last name?
Sterling Phelps, P-H-E-L-P-S. Sterling
All
is
right,
regular spelling. S-T-E-R-L-I-N-G.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we've had you've had an opportunity to meet with Lakeshore Legal. It's my understanding that you did not qualify for representation through them. You've also had a chance to speak with Mr. Ruark at this point, and then and here we are. Counsel.
Your Honor, I think we need a hearing date. There's no resolution today, and I don't see a possibility of a resolution today.
All right, we'll come back for 10/25, so April 10th of 2025 at 10:30 a.m. Are we having a full-on hearing? Is there a defense? Is this something we need to do in person?
Yeah, I don't think we need to do it in person, but at this point, we're talking about having a hearing, a full hearing, yes.
All right, then we're going to do it in person. If there are going to be exhibits, listen, wait, let me talk. If there are going to be exhibits, I don't know anything about it. I don't know if there's a defense, if he's alleging that there's something wrong with the property. If there are going to be things I need to see and testimony that needs to be taken.
Your Honor, there will be, so maybe we should appear in person. I agree.
We're doing it in person, okay? Mr. I'm sorry, at ASM Properties, sir, I don't have your name. What is it you needed to say?
Yes, Your Honor. My question is, I rented the property to Blair Bailey, and I don't even know why Sterling Phelps is living there from day one. Blair Bailey doesn't answer my phone. She doesn't answer my texts or emails. Every time we've reached out, he's living there. He claims to be Blair Bailey's father. I don't even know. Blair Bailey.
Where's Blair Bailey, Mr. Phelps? Where's Blair Bailey?
She is a traveling phlebotomist. She was here days ago. She was just here. So he is making this up. Me and him shook hands and said that I would take over this lease on this property and that I would give him my information the first weeks of the new year.
Miss Bailey needs to appear for court on 4/10 at 10:30 a.m. She's on the lease.
Right. Okay.
Mr. Phelps, if not, they can seek a default against her. But the second mailing was not sent, so the second mailing from the court was not requested. It was not sent. I don't see that she was personally served or otherwise served. So she's not in default today because she's not been served to be here through alternate service or otherwise. So we'll set a hearing for 4/10/25 at 10:30 a.m. in person, and we'll have a hearing on that date. All parties are to be present.
And that's 10:30,
Your Honor.
10:30 a.m. in person.
Got it. Thanks, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may address the court.
Yes.
10 days ago or so, I gave your clerk, her name is Jasmine, $50 to have a jury trial set, and she didn't, for some reason or another, the legal advice person just a minute ago said she didn't see it. But
I see a jury demand. We're going to have a hearing, and then if we need a trial in front of a jury, but here's the problem. Mr. Phelps, they've listed you as a defendant, but you're not. Is he in the lease as a resident or anything?
No, Your Honor.
Or an occupant?
No.
I don't think he's listed at all, Your Honor.
So is he being asked to leave? Do you need to amend your paperwork?
Do I need to amend, Your Honor?
I'm just, if he's not there under a lease, he's not there under a lease.
That's correct.
So is this a termination, a tenancy case for him?
No, we've filed it as a demand for possession. Because
Okay.
there's $4,700 owed under the lease. So our
Well,
argument,
we're doing a jury trial on this. He's filed a jury demand and you've listed him as a defendant. If we're doing a jury demand, this date's going to be, I'm gonna have to talk to even try and find a jury date. I have criminal jury cases every Friday. And here's what I can't have. I can't have Mr. Phelps and Miss Bailey continuing to live in the property long-term and not paying rent. But I
Yes.
also can't get a jury here on a landlord-tenant docket in the middle of a landlord-tenant docket.
Your Honor, I would ask if we move to a jury trial that he be ordered to pay at least 1 month's rent into court escrow.
I agree.
Or maybe ongoing rent that he owes in escrow, because there is no reason. First of all, he shouldn't even be there. He's blocking and tackling. I believe this is fraudulent because that lady is out there. We should look at his record. He's probably constantly doing this to other landlords.
Look, I don't listen. I don't have, I'm not going to start looking at his record. But listen, Mr. Phelps, you have to put 1 month's rent in escrow at the court.
Arif, tell the court how much the 1 month rent would be.
Yeah, it's $1,625.
$1,625, 1 month's rent needs to go into escrow at the court. So you need to come into the court by Tuesday.
I would need that to be by next Friday, Your Honor.
You have to pay ongoing rent into that account too. So
Thank you,
if I
Mom.
give you until April 4th, you're gonna have to also pay, you also have to pay this rent for April now.
Yeah, February. He has got rent
But that's
unpaid since
assuming-
February.
But-
Actually,
What's that?
since
But
January.
I can't, my court recorder cannot take you down both at the same time. Mr. Phelps, what were you saying?
That's assuming that after I present my evidence, that I would owe half of this, even any of this.
Well,
That's
you're
why
not
I'm
gonna
getting it.
look it.
That's why I'm
What is
asking
your
for a jury
evidence,
trial.
sir? What is your defense?
We paid to be somewhere else for 41 days, Your Honor. And I also paid a plumber to come in here before he ever attempted to have a plumber come in here. To come into this building. The reason I
What do
couldn't
you
pay
mean
this
to
man
be
is
somewhere
because
else for
I took
40
over. Say again, ma'am. I'm sorry.
I'm taking a 3-minute recess because I've had it and I need a minute.
Mhm.
Arif, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Let me do the talking.
Sure.
That's never a good
Yeah, I
sign.
mean, Ron, just so you know, since January, there's past due rent.
That may be true. We're talking right now about escrow payments.
Yep.
The court's going to make him pay escrow for March and April next month, so if he wants to continue with the case. But let me talk to the judge.
Sure.
I mean, she's that close to terminating the hearing. Arif, when was the plumber there that you?
So I have all the proof.
I understand
Blair
that.
called me. Yeah, Blair called me, and the very
Arif, my
next day she
question
said,
is, when was the plumber there?
yeah, I'll give you the date.
Send me the receipts and everything.
Yeah,
Send me the
we
canceled check.
paid $6,000 to the plumber. We have
I'll go ahead and pause it there real quick. It seems to me like if they're talking, that every bit of that's still being recorded. For some reason, I knew Judge Simpson's come out before and got pretty upset with people that were talking during the break. So I don't know how it works here.
the receipt. We have everything.
You send me the invoice and receipt, and send me the proof of the payment itself, if it was a canceled check or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
As soon as we were made aware, we took care of it. So this 41 day stuff, I will show you evidence of all the texts with her
Okay,
and with him.
I hear you. Send me the stuff.
Yep. And I'll send you all the receipts we paid the plumber too.
Thank you.
I'm going to make it crystal clear to all of you before I ask you anything. The next person who talks over another person, especially me, is going to pay $100 for direct contempt. And then the next person who talks over, we can sit here all day and you guys can both owe $2,000 in contempt by the time we're done. Answer my questions. Mr. Phelps, are you telling the court that you had to move out of the house for a prolonged period of time?
Yes.
For what reason? What is your allegation?
There were 3 inches or so of water, sewage water, not to mention, on the floor throughout the whole home. The sink and the both sinks, the double sink and the washroom sink and toilet, all backed up. And
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Next question. Did you contact your landlord about that? Or did your
Yes.
daughter contact?
Yes, she contacted him about it. Yes.
Did anyone come out on the landlord's behalf to look at the problem and fix the problem?
Not originally.
Okay. Did you have someone come out originally?
Yes. TI Hardware and Sewage. Yes.
Did you have to pay a bill for that?
Yes. I have the receipt.
How much?
I paid $275. $275. They snaked and stuck a camera in the system.
Okay. Why did you have to move out for 41 days for that?
Because my daughter said that he wasn't staying in contact with her, and he didn't feel as though the plumber that let me back up just a second. The guy that he had came out and said, "Hey, this guy thinks you guys tore up his garbage disposer." And he laughed and he said, "This guy does."
All right, I don't need all that. See, this is the problem. I need a direct answer. Was it because the house was too damaged to live in for 41 days?
Yes, there was sewage water throughout the home, throughout the complete home. Yes.
How long has it been since that's been cleared up?
It was a holiday. It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. He actually.
So why hasn't any rent been paid since then?
Because I had a problem with all the money that I spent for us to be somewhere else, and I let him know, "Hey, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to try to get this thing done." That's when we shook hands.
But now it's the end of March and you've not paid a penny.
Well, a month ago or so, we had an argument in which I didn't think there was anything that we could do.
Mr. Phelps, you think you could just live there for free forever?
No, he said, no, ma'am. He said that he was getting the court involved and that the court would decide. And that's what
All right, well, I'll decide. All right, nobody talk. I'm deciding. You have until April 4th to submit 1625 to the court for escrow. And then every week thereafter, while this case is pending, you have to submit $377 per week.
Okay.
And that money is not necessarily going to him. That money may be returned to you based on my ruling or the jury's ruling, but I'm not going to have, when there's over 3,000 due and owing, it sounds like you have a defense, but I'm not just going to have money accruing on this. And by the time we get a jury trial date, you owe, there's a claim for $10,000. Like, that's not happening. 1625 by April 4th, I'm giving you a few extra days for your paycheck, and thereafter, you're to pay $377 every Friday at the court for the escrow account. And then at the end, I'll decide who gets what. Are we clear? Does everybody understand my ruling?
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Phelps and Mr. Ruark, I am going to have to find a day for this jury trial. And I want you to understand that we don't have a lot of jury trial dates. So I'm hopeful that both of you will make the date work, and I have a full expectation that Blair Bailey will be present at the jury trial. Everybody's going to be here, because if I call in residents from our community to sit on a jury trial, we're going.
Understood.
So I will get you a jury trial date. I'll take it down to my civil clerk and we'll figure out a date, and I'll try and get it done within the next 30 to 40 days. But that's the reality of a jury trial. I need to find a day.
Understood, Your Honor. I have one question, Your Honor.
Yes?
If the payments into escrow are not made, what will the penalty be?
We'll have an immediate hearing on it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And if the payments aren't made, Mr. Ruark, I don't have time to go downstairs and ask every Friday if the payments aren't made, but if they're not made, I want you to file an emergency motion. It can be 3 sentences long, and we'll get you on the docket immediately, and we'll figure it out then.
Understood.
All right, everyone, have a good day.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Doesn't seem like the judge was having such a good day there. If you hadn't paid attention, if you hadn't been around, Jennifer, the painted blonde, Kathy from Court Vibes, Fozzie from Fozzie showed up in Judge Fleischer's court today. They got to go in and visit and get to watch court live. So we all get to live through them and be jealous of them and root for them. And so they all got to see, a hearing, or they got to see one clip. Yeah, this is one that they were in for. This is an interesting one from Judge Fleischer's today. Everybody check out the jacket.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Jenkins. So we brought you out because your lawyer wants to talk about what's going on with your case. I don't know. You tell me what you'd like to.
Well, Judge, there's several things I want to address, right?
Okay.
His reckless driving was dismissed. The felony case that caused you to place him in county and raise his bonds has been disposed of. It was reduced to a misdemeanor, I guess, last week or so sometime. So
I don't know. I don't know anything about what's
so now we're stuck with two terroristic threat cases, one against his brother, Watson.
Yes.
Has spoken with his brother about that case. We were here, I believe, Tuesday. We reset it to today to see if the investigator could find any audio or video that was associated with one of the cases involving Crutch Fitness and an employee there. It's my understanding.
So I spoke to the officer. He told me he was going that day last week, and I've reached out to him again, and now he's saying he's going today. Yeah.
I mean, officers are busy.
Yeah.
I get, but, and we can't just expect them to drop on a dime to get something, right?
No, right. And I understand. But I think that if we were to come to a disposition of this case, like Mr. Jenkins wants, I think it's one simply just to get out of custody. And I think that
I get it, because no one wants to stay in jail, right? But
I also think that he has arguably some good arguments to make in his defense, not only for the Crutch Fitness case, but given now that his brother's not on board to prosecute. I was asking at his request for a time served. State is not willing to do that. They'd like him to be TRAS and whatnot. I'm partly out here asking so he can hear what's going on out here. Secondly, I see that the bonds are $10,000. His father is here present. His father came from overseas just to help address what was going on. They visited
that's
yesterday.
nice. Where's Dad?
Dad is right here at the front right
Come up,
here.
Dad. Come on. Thank you so much for coming.
Right about there, he should have had Jennifer come up with him.
So both cases are set at 10,004. With that present, I'm asking for a reduction in those cases. I don't think a personal bond, I'd ask for a PR bond. I have to ask. But given that a personal bond is not on the table with both those cases, I would ask for a reduction of 2,500 per case, Judge. I say that because initially he was taken into custody. Jail therapy was part of the initial reason why, not the entire reason why. I think Mr. Jenkins has been in there since January 14th, over 2 months. I can see it on his eyes when we speak. He doesn't have the same livelihood he did whenever he was wanting to fight these cases. I think the jail therapy has worked. It's done its case, and I think 2,500 is enough to let him know that he has to be back in court, and whoever puts that money up, that he's responsible for that money in full, should he not
But
abide
it's
by.
not just to come back to court. Every time we give Mr. Jenkins a bond, he picks up a new case. Since January, we're on our 4th case. And they're dangerous cases. They're not cases where it's like a rinky-dink trespass or like a theft from a Walmart. No, they're serious, dangerous cases. Your first case is a reckless driving. While you're on bond, you pick up a felony. What was the felony initially that got?
It was a 3rd-degree evading of the motor vehicle.
So evade. So he's on bond for reckless driving. We ordered him, hey, no more reckless driving, please. Just think about the community. Don't endanger the community. Picks up an evading in a motor vehicle. 3rd-degree felony, looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. He gets out. Then he picks up in October a terroristic threat, gets out again, and then now picks up another terroristic threat the same month. So it's what we ask you to do. It goes in one ear and it goes out the other ear. And the problem is now you're stuck because the bonds are high. Your dad is here, which is great because it shows support. But the problem is, if I let you out, are you going to pick up a 5th case?
No, sir.
Well, I know you're going to say no. You said that the first 4 times. The only way I really get to know you is how you look on paper, because that tells me who you are. When you tell me something, for me now, it goes in one ear and it goes out the other, because I know you're going to tell me what I want to hear. It's little bunnies jumping in the woods, gumdrops and rainbows. But when you get out there, you turn into a different person. And it's not fair to everybody else who complies and the potential danger to everyone. We're not asking for much. I'm just asking you to just be safe. Don't do anything. Think before you act. I've repeatedly told you that. So I get that you feel like you look but are we really supposed to keep doing this? State, what's your position?
Bond reduction, Your Honor. Is that a habeas issue? Pending cases. Direct driving is not dismissed by us. It's dismissed by felony. Part of his plea negotiations with felony there. They would be opposed.
How is it that just the 2 cases were, I mean, because they're not even in the same
Right. I don't.
same transaction. I don't understand how these things are happening now, because I see a lot of judges complaining,
Because I did not file that, and I was like, I'm pretty sure, so I went to check and it was a felony prosecutor.
So who is the first terroristic threat?
The first terroristic threat was brother.
Who's the second one?
Second one is a manager at a gym.
Here's what I would like to do. I would like to have him TRAS to see how we go forward, because I just don't know. A TRAS is an evaluation where we have clinicians talk to him and see, they ask him all kinds of questions about his life, about his history, any drug history, living situation they ask, and they determine that, okay, this person may need treatment. This person may not need as intensive in treatment to where he can be on the outside and doing it. I don't know how to go forward, but it scares me because I don't want him to pick up a 5th case. I don't know what he's doing in life. Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
How do I know that? I mean, just you're headed nowhere quick. And we don't want to see that. We don't want you to end up as a statistic. I mean, sure.
I've been trying very, very hard to get a startup in sales because I want to do sales. That's
the best way for me to go without having a degree because I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so doing independent contractor work, it allows me to be able to make money, on my own time and then invest into what I want to invest into on the side. Because I don't believe that working a job for the rest of my life is a way for me to live my life. And I agree with you that I keep on catching cases, but it's not because I want to start trouble. It's just because I have too much time on my hands and the things that I want to get started, I haven't gotten started yet because I procrastinate a lot. I know that I do that, but it's not because I can't control myself. I have a lot of self-control and if you let me be free, it's
Terroristic
not.
threat says the otherwise. A terroristic threat says that when you get angry, you pop off and you have no self-control and you start throwing out threats, right? Without, that says no self-control.
Well, I would say, Judge, on that one, just this is at a gym, but there was also a basketball game that had just happened. So it's important. And the reason why I brought up the evidence, because, there's two sides of the story. And so I just needed to verify.
I always, right.
Right.
There's
We
always
understand that.
two
I just want him to
sides.
know that, we're advocating for him as well, that we are doing the investigation. And I worry that if he just signs to get out, that it puts him in a cyclical sort of situation, one, and two, that he's only doing it just because he doesn't want to get out.
I'm
And
not-
that's why I'm addressing the bonds.
I'm not going to take it.
And that's why I was addressing the bonds, because, and this is not even a guarantee that father is going to pay the bonds. This is just to.
Let me ask you this. If we let you out, where are you going to go? Where do you have to go?
My mom, she'll let me stay back at the house. I know that if she doesn't let me stay at the house, then I'll find a place to stay. But
I'm not letting you out to the street. They'll eat you alive.
well, I was
The only
staying
way that I would even.
I have family on the outside.
But if they're not going to take you,
That's not
It's a
fair to
problem.
just have me in jail because I had a place to stay and now I don't because I was in jail. Being in jail is not the place for me. The only way to elevate my life and
4 different chances, Mr. Jenkins.
I wasn't in jail before those chances. I've been in jail now, so I understand my consequences more. That's what jail is for, to learn your lesson.
You live across the country or where?
Yeah, I've been living in Europe for the last 6 months. So I took an assignment in Europe.
Who else? Is there anyone here that's willing to take Mr. Jenkins in?
Well, he's crossing the bridge with everyone in the family.
He's burned it. God dog it. You know, it's never good to burn a bridge because you never know when you need to cross it. When you act like an a-hole to everybody and you shut everybody out, this is the exact example of why you don't do that. I would consider if you had a place to go, because I'm telling you now, I'm not letting you out to the street. If you have nowhere to go, then that's set
I find a place to go, but I can't find a place to go if I'm in jail. I have nobody to call in jail. Nobody answers my phone when I'm in jail. So if I stay in jail, that's gonna be my life forever. It's gonna be a kid that had a chance in life to a kid that has a life in jail now because of a few mistakes that I know not to make anymore.
Let this be a lesson.
If I'm able to go through the MAC judge and find some kind of social program, and work that way and provide evidence to the court that they can house him. My parents will help me find a homeless shelter. They'll help me find a homeless shelter to stay at. Like they did that before. I just don't want to pre-end.
Really?
He burned every bridge. He has I have 6 boys and he's number 5. His auntie, his grandmother, and he shoots everybody's bad. So
I've stayed in a homeless shelter before and I've done well in a homeless shelter. I was able to take care of myself and function into homeless shelter and they helped me find a homeless shelter. So I can find a place to live, but if I'm in jail, my life gets worse and
I know you're desperate to get out, but I don't understand what could have been so bad that you burned so many bridges with damn near everybody in your family. What the hell happened, man?
I started.
You know?
Just reflect on that. Don't answer.
I mean,
I knew that evaluation would be great, because he was evaluated before and he was medicated, but he refused to take his medication.
that's big. You know, the problem is, Mr. Jenkins, is that we get a lot of people here that they're supposed to take medication, right? And they start to take it and things go great. The problem is that things do go great when you take your medication. And a lot of people say, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I'm doing great. And when they stop taking it, everything turns right back into scheisse. You know, that's the problem. When you're taking your medication, things go great. You must continue to take it.
Can I say something? Hold on. The medication,
Not talk about the cases.
I know, I'm talking about the medications. The medications, they were making me drowsy. So I was in process of getting on new medications that were uppers and not downers because at the time I didn't have a car. So I was going through a lot more shit. So it's the same position I'm gonna be in now. So I know that's not a good argument. But finding a medication that has me up instead of down so that I can function and find a job and make money. Because really but my life is bad and I'm going through what I'm going through because I'm not where I want to be in life. I don't have any money and I can't take care of myself because of that. So that causes a lot of mental illness. That's what you can call it, mental illness, but it's really just going through life and having stress going through life. That's the problem I'm dealing with, not having any money. So once I have money, you'll see a completely change. It'll be like I'm on the best medication ever once I have money.
Do you think that me just letting you out, poof, you're gonna get money?
I'm not saying that, but I can show you by going to the therapies and the classes that I'm doing better, and then I'm trying to elevate my life to a point where I can take care of myself, and I don't have to depend on anybody in my family. And then you'll see that poof change once I'm in a position where I can take care of myself. I can promise you that you'll see that poof change as soon as I can take care of myself because I have money now.
Schedule the assessment for Monday.
Great. I'd like to do a TRAS to see how we go forward because I don't know. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm not letting you just out to the street. So do you mind?
I will research through the program.
No. But also perhaps if you can try to like make a good faith effort to reach out to the family, see if anyone, I'm happy to talk to them too, to try to help convince to see if they'll.
We speak extensively, but yes, sir.
So we're talking to have him sent to Job Corps. So there's a Job Corps at St. Marcus that he qualifies for because he doesn't have any felony. So he can go to Job Corps, learn a trade, and stay up there if he's willing to do that.
Problem is that is he going to do it?
Right.
Yes, sir. I will do it though. I'm very
If you're in
willing to-
jail, everybody will say anything just to get out of jail. And then when you get out there though, what's really going to happen?
I don't have a car, so I need to find a way to this appointment. So any job right now is a good opportunity for me because I have to save up to get a car to take care
Mr.
of
Jenkins, Mr. Jenkins, where is Job Corps? Is it just in San Marcos? There's nothing
We have
here?
some other ones, but that's the closest one.
Because what I'm thinking is that we could probably do something to try to resolve these cases and perhaps make that a condition that he does Job Corps.
Is it possible that the court could order that as a, well, I'll discuss it whenever we.
Right. I would say that we do it as part of perhaps some kind of global agreement where, first have him TRAS, let's see what they say. And then perhaps we make it a condition that he does Job Corps. And the thing, I don't know if it's in San Marcos, I have an issue because I don't know how we can supervise it, right? But if there's something here, that would be great.
I'll just
Or something closer.
Preferred, the reason I made 12 months so you get your accent.
You try
Last
that.
week, not a class week.
First have them TRAS,
Sure.
see what they say. Come back on Monday or probably Tuesday or Wednesday. This is because we got to give it a couple days.
You need a drug test too? A drug test?
He'll be clean now. He's been in custody. Well, I hope they don't have dope in the jail. I mean, I know that he's been in custody for quite a while, but if we do let him out on, say, some kind of diversionary program or probation or whatnot, he will absolutely be tested and a lot because I would make it a condition that he gets tested a lot. And I'm going to tell you now, if you do get out, one of the conditions will be that you take your medication. One of the other conditions is that you get your driver's license. One of the other conditions that, we'll try to find you some kind of housing so that you have somewhere to stay, because I don't want you out on the street. And that you get to the job. So we want you to succeed. I don't want you to just stay in jail. I don't want you to be a statistic. I want you to leave here better than you came. But me just letting you out now, just for shits and giggles, that it would throw you out to the wolves, because I think that you, with proper structure, you're going to go do what you've been doing for the last.
I need to be transferred because in my pod, they were touching on me inappropriately and saying sexual things that were making me uncomfortable. And Judge, not regarding that, that's another issue. The reason I was hesitant to sign a defer is because I was expecting to see, I got to make sure that the evidence is correct, and I really wanted to see.
You don't have everything?
No, I'm saying the surveillance that we were waiting on from the investigator. I was
Oh,
wanting.
this is from what you were talking
Yes.
about. Okay, I get it.
I'm keeping that off of it. This is not tracking the defense.
No. And I'm saying
So,
from part,
look,
and I think
just,
I didn't want to, Judge, just have him sign something just so he can get out. I understand he's in jail and I understand it's bad in there.
let's have him T-Raz.
Sure.
In the meantime, try to get the video, subpoena the officer to get here, because it's been since October.
She's been looking for him. I'm not saying they haven't done anything.
Yeah,
But I'm saying as my job as well, I gotta make sure that, the
Sure.
burden is held and.
But if you subpoena the officer to come to court, that,
Fully
you know what I mean?
and that, Your Honor, and that's why I'm keeping the offer open. It's not trying to put defense on the spot.
No.
It's
That's-
just.
I didn't feel
keeping the
that as
offer
well.
open. It's not like I'm trying to rush this
So-
here.
We'll have him evaluated Monday. It takes 2 to 3 days to get the results. In the interim, Matt's gonna get all the evidence so they can see the surveillance, they can see everything, so that all you guys can have a meeting and see what is out there. And then perhaps maybe like Wednesday or Thursday, we can come up with a plan on how to go forward. Is that okay? Matt,
Yes, sir.
how long
So-
are you going to be here?
I'm gonna be here until we resolve it. I was supposed to leave on the 29th. I can stick around.
Okay. We'll try to do it as fast as possible.
I have to be back by the 11th.
Oh, yeah, well, sure, absolutely. My main concern is where is he gonna live when he gets out? Because
His plans was his vehicle, but his vehicle is repo. We just found out yesterday because we didn't know where it was at. So it's the car that he was.
car's gone, car's gone.
I understand. So I have 3 vehicles. I was gonna try to get him. I don't know if he has a license or anything.
Can you run his license,
Yes,
please?
Judge.
Before you just start driving and getting out there, just make sure that you yourself are good. Before you start doing all
I'm
this.
very cautious.
Just listen, and then you can speak.
I know you are, but I mean, taking the medication, if you're taking any, so that you get everything, you do it in steps. You don't start running or start walking. There's a process.
I need to be out of jail. My mental is way worse when I'm in jail than when I'm in the free world. In the free world, I'm on way better position to take care of myself and elevate my life to where I need to be. In jail, it's the opposite.
Okay. This is what you consider when you're out there in the free world.
And I understand, I
Have it-
wasn't
stop-
considering that
stop
before,
interrupting
but
me, Judge.
I will now that I've been in jail. I understand what jail is, and there's a place I don't want to be. I understand what I'm dealing with on the free world and what I need to do in the free world in order to not come back to jail. I understand
Mr.
that.
Jenkins, we're in the home stretch.
You gotta stop replying.
We are in the home stretch. Matt, in the interim,
Sir.
if you could please just find,
Yes,
you
I will
need to
do.
find a home. I'm happy to talk to any family members to help try to convince.
The shelter he was in
Driver's license is
before.
eligible, Your Honor.
The shelter he was in before was an age group and they have to have beds. So he wasn't in a real homeless shelter. He was in a place where children go from 18 to like 21. It's a shelter, but I think all that's over now. So he won't be able to get him in one of those places. In one other place, he can go to a real shelter that he has to be in at 6 o'clock to get up in there and live on the street or go to Job Corps. So he doesn't understand that those shelters doesn't exist anymore. Those kids shelters.
Where's that?
I understand that, sir.
Yes,
I
that's
can-
it. That's it.
And he's aging out, so he hasn't taken his medicine because he's 22 now, so we can't make him take his medicine. They don't make him believe it.
I can as a condition of anything to release. So we will make it. And if it doesn't start happening, and if he doesn't take the medication, he'll stay with me. And we'll keep doing this until it takes. I can hold on to you for 3 years, man. Really. All right. I think we're good. We got a plan.
Yes, sir.
We'll set it for, I guess, Tuesday or Wednesday, and we'll come back and then hopefully we can have everything resolved. Okay? Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it.
All right, so that video had the desired effect. It kind of taught, kind of showed how a lot of families deal with this stuff. I didn't get to watch it earlier. I heard a little bit about it, but no, it was. I like Dad in there. I would have loved to have been in that opportunity. Jennifer, I had to sit there and talk with him and learn something about it. But Dad standing up there like a boss, standing up there like a frustrated dad who's dealt with that crap before, and that's where it goes to. We got some landlord court with Judge Simpson today. So about a week ago or so, there was a couple of women trying to kick someone out, and the one woman kept running her mouth with Judge Simpson, and Judge Simpson kicked her out. And so this one's going to have part two of that. I think they had a family of, I think he's got like 6 or 7 or 8, maybe even more kids. And so of course he can't find a place to move to, so he just feels he should be able to stay there for free. So let's see where that goes.
Ridge Apartments versus Maya Hines.
Morning again, Your Honor. City Council, on behalf of plaintiff.
Good morning, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
Hello, Ms. Hines. Okay, how much is owing on this?
Including court costs, the current balance is $3,658. That's 3,658.
Ms. Hines, how are you intending on getting that paid?
So I had a bad car accident and I broke my hand and my knee. As you can see, I'm in a cast. So I haven't been able to work, and this happened at the end of January. So I've been off. I just got approved for my disability. So I should have some funds next week. And then they should give me
Do you
like
know
my,
how much you're gonna have or what you're gonna be able to
so they're
do?
gonna give me 900 every other week, and then I'm getting help from Supportive Connections and Jewish Family Services to help me get this balance
Okay.
down as well. But
Have you contacted Hawk?
they won't help me because they helped me last year, so I'm not at the, I guess it's like a time limit I have to be at to make it a full complete year.
Okay. So you're reaching out to other
Other
places.
places, yeah. It's not that I'm not trying or I'm not working on purpose. I have a broken hand.
No, okay, I get you. All right. So when is your first check coming in?
It'll be in Wednesday. I'm sorry, when is the 4th? That's
The
Friday.
4th,
Friday.
so next Friday?
Yep.
All right. So you haven't had income. So how much of that check do you think you can?
I don't want to not give the whole thing, but I do have like to pay my light bill, so our lights aren't off. So I could probably give like 800 and then put 100 towards the
Okay.
light bill.
Your Honor, I think
Okay.
she's going to need some more assistance, so she's probably going
Yeah,
to reach
she
out to
is.
some other places.
How much is your monthly rent?
It's 1647 or it's 49, something.
Okay. All right. So let's start this since she's entitled to the adjournment. I pay 750, pay that by the 4th.
Okay, Your Honor.
And then you'll have another check at least by the 18th.
Yes.
And maybe can at least get, hang on. I don't know who that is. And then you can maybe at that point then get your at least your April rent, because you're gonna have to find some way to get this 36. And all right.
Your Honor, I
So
think she probably might want to talk to someone from legal aid if she has the opportunity. Maybe they can
yeah,
direct me.
she might want to contact legal aid, but also I think I'm gonna put her in with Amy,
Okay.
court liaison, and see what else might be available for you. Okay, Ms. Hines?
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, so counsel, I'm gonna put this out to the 18th with your other case.
Great. Thank you.
All right. April 18th, 2025, 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing, Ms. Hines, okay?
Okay, so I'm not driving right now, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get there. I can't drive.
Okay, then you'll have to fill out a Zoom form and we'll
Okay.
look at it. But I
Okay.
remember that you broke your arm.
Okay.
How come you can't drive with the other hand?
Technically I
Never
can,
mind.
but
Never mind. I'm
Your
not
Honor, the
gonna.
question is, how's she gonna fill out the form if she got a broken arm?
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is all gonna be a mess, Miss Hines.
Yeah.
and it's my dominant hand. I broke my dominant hand. So it's not good.
Oh, the dominant hand. Okay, I got you. All right. Well, I don't want you out there driving unsafe, so I get you. All right. So, Miss Hines, I want you to hold on the line. We're going to put you into a breakout room with a court liaison person. Okay.
Okay.
And start talking about other resources and things. In any event, make those payments so
Okay,
we
I
can
will.
try to keep it steady until we can get you some assistance. All right.
Okay. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Your
All
Honor.
right. You have a great weekend.
You too, Your Honor.
Huron Vista versus Chanel Brown. Chanel Brown.
Carissa Gazeri for plaintiff.
You had it right the first time, Judge.
It's Chanel.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh, ma'am. Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, because
No, you gave me a promotion. That's fine. I'm good. All right.
the screen switched. I'm sorry, sir.
It's okay. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Your Honor, the outstanding balance is $2,857.44, which includes the court costs.
All right.
And yes,
Oh.
I am working with Alpha House, not Alpha House. I have a second party that's gonna pay the rent next week.
Next week?
Yes.
When are they? What date? Do you know?
No, they just told me to come in and tell you that they're gonna pay it.
Okay. So
And
let me ask you this. Are they gonna pay? They're gonna pay your current back balance and April?
yeah.
Or
Well, I already paid my rent for my portion for April already. So they're
you
supposed
did?
to, yes. And they're supposed to pay for the rest.
Okay. All right. So let's do this. My next date is the 11th. So I'm going to turn it out to April 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. That's an in-person hearing.
Okay.
So if everything is all paid, then it's likely they'll dismiss the case, but you've got to
Okay.
make sure that it's dismissed.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely know that they're gonna pay the rent because they told me they're gonna
Okay.
do that, and they
All
have
right.
not stood me wrong. So I just
Okay. So if everything's
the
paid
first is
and
not
the
here
case
yet.
is going to be
So
dismissed,
thank you.
then you don't have to appear.
Okay.
If not, if for whatever reason there's a hiccup, then you'll have to appear here in court.
Yes, sir.
So I can mispronounce your name in person. Okay?
I love you so much, and I watch you all the time, and I'm trying to be part of your team. Tell them to hire me. Tell them to hire me.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your Honor, one thing I just want to add is that I do see that there was a payment made by Ms. Brown on the 25th of March and the 21st of March. However, April rent is going to be added to this ledger.
Okay, so that's the reason why I'm so
Right.
confused because I had two different parties. We just had another management over here. So I'm confused because even when I looked at my case where I'm supposed to be paying at and then where they're supposed to be paying at, it's still not adding up with the costs. So I'm wondering if it's a hiccup on their side, and I'm not the only person. I'm not the only tenant that's having this problem.
Gotcha. Okay, but I think what Ms. Gazzari is pointing out, you made a payment that's already been deducted from your account. Come April 1, they're going to click on your portion for April.
Right. And I just literally this week paid my portion.
Right. But what I'm trying to tell you is come April 1, your portion is actually going to be added to the figure we had. Okay, okay, look, it'll be okay. It's that the amount that's given the people that are paying for you, here's what you're going to need to tell them. Because you already paid a certain amount in March being your April rent, right? That's what you think you're paying. The amount they're going to need to pay is the amount that we just gave you plus whatever your April portion is.
Are you serious?
Okay. If they don't do that, you'll have to come down. We'll get it straight, but I want to make sure that the numbers are being looked at. But we'll
Yeah,
make
because
sure all the numbers
I'm
are right.
very confused about the numbers. So yeah,
Okay. If they pay the 28, I don't have the file in front of me now, but if they pay that amount,
okay.
then it may look like your April didn't get paid. All right. Show up on the 11th. If that's the case, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. Don't stress about it. All right.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great weekend.
You as well.
Peninsula Place versus Amadou Diane.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Diane,
Yes, Your Honor.
how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Okay, so this is a motion, but was this a termination or not payment? Not payment. It's a non-payment. Okay, for 256581.
Can I say something, Your Honor, before he
hang on
goes?
just a second. How much is owing?
1845.81.
1845.81. Okay. What did you want to say, Mr. Dan?
Yes, I had to write a letter to let you know a lot of stuff is wrong there. First off, it's been very hard communicating with staff. As far as I'm concerned, I shouldn't hold anything. Matter of fact, I might be into the April rent that's a paid partial of. And the reason why I can tell you this, why is that 18? Because they've been misplacing my money order. And I tried to talk to Mr. Fink office like you ordered me to. The reason why they got a money order in the first place is you ordered me to deliver them the money in the office. They wouldn't take my payment. And I was very frustrated because I left work to deliver the money to them. They wouldn't take my payment and they wouldn't let me make online payment. So I left work on the 5th and I actually have that receipt here. And that's how they found it. And I keep kind of in contact and I'm being threatened to be evicted. That when the money is already paid for, I've been taking off work to be at a court. So all this money should already be on their site. And I had to tell them that I have the video of me delivered. They had to go find these money order and then post it on my account. They still haven't found all of them yet. I still have 2 receipts. They only posted 1 yet. And they say, I owe 18 something or whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, everything is paid up for. This is what if they said that I owe something, I just want to know which month so we can get to that so I can be done with it because I got a lot going on in the head. And eviction is not something that I want to even think of right now.
Do you have money in escrow, Your Honor?
I have 500 in escrow. He paid 500 into escrow. So that would bring, even according to your balance, his balance down to 1345 or somewhere around there.
Yes, sir. 1345.81.
All right. So what do you want to do?
I'd like the money in escrow and I'd like you to sign my order of eviction. Unless he says he's gonna pay it.
All right.
I'm saying that you guys said that you guys need to look at the receipt and tell me which rent that was missed and that lead me to eviction that you said I saying that I'm owing money because I pay everything. And this is before too, like you that I had to go to the office for almost like every day for them to look for that. We've been looking for it for
Mr.
like a month.
Mr. Diane,
yes.
You're going to have to go down to the office with your receipts or contact Mr. Fink's office with your receipts of that you paid. Okay.
I did all of that. And then not only that, I have video too. And then I posted it in the thing and I drop it off to record it because I know this was going to happen again. I'm moving when my lease is over. I just don't want any time my record to just, go by my business because I've been doing too much already.
Mr. Diane.
Yes.
I'm going to release the escrow to them So according to their balance, it's 1345.
But for which
You've
one?
got
What
a
I owe?
different, you,
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but it's
I'm gonna
just like
let
my.
you talk
Okay.
and I'm gonna
Okay.
let you finish talking and then I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
talk and you're gonna be quiet. So go ahead. Tell me what else you want to tell me now for the second time, like I can't understand.
I'm sorry because you just said 13. I just want that part to be understand that if they said that I owe money for what rent and for what, like because as far as I'm concerned, I deliver everything to them. So and like you said to go talk to the office people. I did talk to them, and not only that, I had a video of me delivering the mail in the day, and I have a receipt. I showed them they couldn't help me, so that's why I'm lost about how can they help me now.
You done?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna release the money in escrow to the plaintiff. I need you to get your copies of your receipt or whatever you have and get those to Mr. Fink's office, the attorney, so they can take a look at it and talk with their client about it. You need to get that over to Mr. Fink's office as soon as possible. I'm going to sign the writ, but I'm going to indicate the writ cannot be executed before April 10th.
May I repeat back what I understand?
Yes.
He is going to provide me with any documentation of payments that he thinks my client missed.
Correct.
And then we'll check that out.
Correct.
May I say something?
Sure.
Yes. So how can I know what's missing if I don't like a payment was making a different form of the shape? Well, some was in the escrow, some was in the online, but for the most part, online, and I have made those payments to them, and they say that those payments are not in. I'm trying to know which they can tell me which payment I missed. If I can pay my part, money is like if they saying that I missed like February example, that's what rent that I do. Show me that, and then I'll just like show you the receipt of that. That's what I'm asking the court to do, and they're telling me to. This is why the issue is coming in about because
How much does he think the amount is off?
nothing. I'm partner. I paid everything, and matter of fact, that 500 that's in the escrow, that's going to like April. I pay all my rent, and like this was missing. We would look for it for a month, and I had to tell the
Mrs.
listing
Diane,
office.
here's what I'm gonna do. You're to be here April 8th, 9 a.m. for a hearing. You bring all the paper you have. You don't want to go down and see Mr. Fink. You don't want to do that. You want to try to overtalk me. You just come down here and you're gonna have to show it. If it's not shown, a writ's gonna issue that day. April 8th, 9 a.m. The escrow will still be released to the plaintiff.
Thank you.
This is not right.
Oh, I don't think you want to keep talking because I could just sign this writ and be done. I'm trying to give you a chance.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Not you. I was
Don't say
All right.
another word. April 8th, 9 a.m. I signed that, so you got to hold.
Yeah.
When he was pulling up that "Don't say another word," all I kept thinking about was Samuel Jackson from Pulp Fiction. Judge Simpson's got that personality, and I could just see that coming out in him. But that was an interesting one. So this one that's coming up is last week. A married couple was renting a house to a family. Carla let me know it was 7 kids, so it was a total of 9 people in this house. And Judge Simpson was trying to follow the process, and I don't know how it works. One of the wives said that she's the one paying property taxes, she's the one getting in debt, so she needs them to be out, and got into an argument with Judge Simpson to the point where Judge Simpson said she wasn't allowed back in the court. I'm not sure if that's her that pulls up in here in just a minute, but it seems like it was. I'm too lazy to go back and check to see if it was on the original video, but anyone who remembers that one will enjoy this one.
Versus Dustin Mickle. And Antoinette. Yeah. All right. You guys are on the wrong side, but don't worry. Oh. All right. Your name? And Dustin. And
my wife Antoinette.
okay. She can introduce herself. I don't know why. Got it. All right.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Where are you folks on this case?
All right, well, I did speak to legal services as you requested, and they're not entirely, they don't know if they're gonna fully take the case on, but they do want to do some investigating about the housing voucher being taken like that. 'Cause they said there must be some type of something illegal or something that happened, because they can't just do that, but they were asking for 2 weeks.
And so, Ms. Green, so that you understand, that was when I was sort of hesitating the last time. It's because it's unusual that all of a sudden their voucher goes away, right? And I'm not sure why that was. And I don't know if you know. You do?
Yeah, so I actually working with them in October the 24th. She sent out an email saying that they're not no longer with the state giving those vouchers out anymore. And so we showed them proof that we filled out the paperwork. And Mr. Nichols, me and him worked hand in hand. I kept on saying, I heard something from Section 8, I heard something from Section 8. Well, they stated, Hugh, the director of the company, stated that Section 8 just said they closed the vouchers. Just like that. And so in October, they knew they had to contact legal aid. It's in writing. And so I don't know. I kept on telling them, y'all gotta do something. Because Tracy even told them to contact legal aid back in October.
Tracy,
they worker.
okay.
They was in the homeless shelter
Gotcha.
for 2 years. But 2 years was up this February, even though last year it was 2 months. Last year the lease was up because they already had stayed a year. This made the second year, so the lease went to month. So in October, we was trying to work this out with in October, and she had just had her baby, and so I knew that he worked real hard, and it was so hard for him to delegate what he had going on. And so now we're here. I gave a 30-day notice in January.
No, I see.
And I just
Okay.
choose my please.
No, I know. And so where are you guys in reference to moving?
Sir, we have put in at least 24 applications. And the housing size that we need, they're wanting me to pay, I can pay, $1,600 to $2,000, but they want me to make 3 times the rent. They want my credit score to be a 675. So they keep denying me. And the places that will accept me, I don't have Section 8. So they don't even want to deal with me, even though it's just like, I just can't take my family, like I explained to Carla, I just can't take my family and just be out the house.
Okay, so go ahead.
It's okay to say something else?
No, go ahead.
And at first, the housing voucher was going good, but then at first they didn't want to deal with the program because they were asking too many questions or whatever the reason. I don't know what the reason was, because the communication should have been between my landlord and my caseworker, Tracy Bundley, but she was not communicating with her due to a disagreement between the two parties, and we were just
Judge, we were hanging in the balance, basically, between the two. We didn't know half of the information that was being stated from our worker, because she was not coming in, talking with us, giving us information that we needed to have until she wanted us to sign something. That's when she would come and bring us paperwork and we sign it.
Where's this worker from?
She's from Rapid Rehousing, the program.
And she just got a promotion.
Well, I don't care about that. What I'm worried about. All right.
Judge, honestly, if I don't have a housing voucher, I'm really.
No, I know. Well, that
I have
was
9 people.
Well, that was. Listen, I've been doing this work for a while, and that was the one thing that I realized when you guys were on last time. If you don't have a voucher, I don't know how you house married people. You want your house back, which would be fine, and maybe a whole lot easier if they have a voucher. Go ahead.
Actually, I don't want to deal with the voucher. That's what she was saying.
No. It doesn't matter whether you want to deal with it. It's where they go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you even keeping them. The problem is, in the normal circumstance, what would happen is you'd want them out. They had a voucher. Let's say they just had a family of 3. You have a voucher, then they have to go and they can find a place, basically relocating that voucher and move in. Problem here is I got more people trying to move them and no voucher. Because if what you want, if that voucher was improperly taken in some way, then what you want becomes a whole lot easier to accomplish. Because otherwise, what's going to happen is, let's say they don't move, then you're going to be paying to pay somebody to move them out of that house. I don't think you want to do that either. Let me ask you this. Because right now, I'm inclined to give the adjournment to let them investigate it, because this doesn't sound right. The whole thing just doesn't sound right to me, that all of a sudden they say, we're not doing those vouchers anymore. If you had to, how much was rent, the base rent when the voucher was paying? Not, I don't care who was paying it.
Can I say something?
What do you mean there never was?
He had got accepted for his voucher. We were going through stages of getting the inspection done, and so we can be able to start using. He never got to use his voucher.
So he never was issued a voucher.
He never got to use.
That's a whole different ballgame. So
I'm sorry, sir. I was issued the voucher based on them doing the inspection of the place. Now, the first time they did the inspection, when Section 8 did the inspection, they counted it as an initial inspection, even though we had already been there.
Well, hold on, because you guys now have me confused. There was never, so you never got a Section 8 payment?
No.
She was getting paid through rapid rehousing. They were paying,
yeah, but they're only going to pay for a certain period.
And like the period was up in February.
February
of this year was their last payment.
Was the last payment of the rapid rehousing, because then what should have taken over is you should have gotten their voucher, that should have been in place, and that should have been doing it.
and sir, that's the reason.
Well, no, hold on. So that's where it was confusing in my mind. So you got paid by rapid rehousing, but you never got paid on a voucher.
Never.
Because you weren't issued a voucher.
I was issued a voucher.
He wasn't issued a voucher that really made it a voucher, so they never started paying it off.
You didn't get a payment if they paid in February, you didn't get a payment in March.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And I'm sorry. So Your Honor, what I was trying to tell them as well is, so rapid rehousing, they only let you stay there for 2 years.
Gotcha. Okay. And there's no lease at this point.
And the reason there was no lease because Section 8, the only reason we were given this house due to the amount that we had to pay to move in and due to the high, they usually don't pay this much when it comes to rent, but they did because the voucher was going to take over.
Right.
That's why there was no lease after last year.
Hold on a moment. So the problem is so what I said before, what makes it easier for the landlord is if you have a voucher. It also makes it easier for you in terms of moving. That's fine if you had a voucher and somebody may have taken it and done something with it, because then it could potentially be reinstated, you could move, they get their house, everything's fine. Problem here is, what I'm hearing is there actually was never a voucher. So you don't really have that voucher to take, like somebody can't come along and say, oh, mistake. You still have your voucher and then move. That's not what this case was, because understanding that now, that's a whole different thing.
We had got a paper in the mail, sir, that said, the time has passed to use your housing vouchers. Like I said in the beginning, she didn't even want to take the program due to whatever was.
Well, she didn't have to take it. I mean,
so when I talked to her, basically, I'm like, this is the house that I need. And I spoke to her, father, as a husband, it's like, this is what I need, whatever I need to do, I'm willing to do it. She was like, okay, we'll take it. And then so we started the process again because they wanted me to find another house rather than a house that I was in. Still.
Okay, just listen. All of that will be fine, except for the fact that the cold-hearted reality in this is you're going to have to move. It just becomes a rougher journey for you, because I don't think that voucher, there isn't a voucher. So to understand where my head was at initially, had there been a voucher and somebody says, okay, we're not paying, or we're stopping it for whatever reason, that's not how that would work, where they come along and say, we're not doing it anymore, right? That's not how that would work.
They also took it because on our part, it was turned in on time, but they turned the paper in late when it came to.
Well, I can't go back and do anything with that. The only thing that I can say is there wasn't a voucher. All right. Had they been paid, but they were being paid through a different program. They weren't being paid on the voucher. Had they been paid on the voucher, then I would say, okay, I'm adjourning this out because we got to find out what happened to that thing. And it's going to make it easier on everybody. Right now, this is a circumstance where I don't know that the adjournment is going to do anything, because I don't think anybody's going to issue a voucher in 2 weeks.
I just want to give them time to investigate. That's all.
Well, but the investigation isn't going to. You got paid in February.
She had contacted us, that both of us know, Tracy, that they've been expired for the program. They give you 2 years to sit on this program, and after February was the deadline. So she emailed us in October
To tell us it would expire. Yes, and then your last payment came in February.
My wife offered her a payment in March. She said, we don't want any partial payment.
They said they didn't want no partial payment.
And we didn't say it was going to be.
All right, look, okay, I get it.
I had been asking her, what if we could pay the $2,600? Could we stay? Well, I just want to sell the house. Well, if there's a first homeowners program that we could get into, because I said it's going to be hard.
Okay, I know, I hear you, and all of that's fine, except that they're going to be entitled to their property. The real question is how much time is it going to take you guys to move? And I know, given the circumstances, that's a hard question to even begin to try to answer.
You an answer, because we've been trying to move since.
Okay, let me try from the other end. But I give you a judgment.
As soon as possible. Your Honor, when they came to.
Okay, but look, folks, here's the problem. Do you have the money to pay to move to have people move them out? Because that's what has to happen.
It's gonna cost me less to have them moved out versus me wait months and months. This is costing me. I'm falling deeper and deeper.
You guys are not.
I did proper things to get it back. Did I do the right thing to get my property back? Did I follow the right channels?
But did you say you were gonna understand, because you've been in this position before? Did you just say that to my house, to me and my wife, and
I
talk to
never
my
been in.
kids? Yes,
This
you
is my
did.
first time renting this house out. This is my last.
But,
No, you're talking about the being
Folks,
homeless
folks,
part.
folks,
as soon as I.
you guys can go back and forth, and it doesn't matter.
I understand.
It really doesn't matter. All right. The cold hard reality is I don't think you understand how much it would cost to empty a house because all of that stuff would be out there. I understand that you're going out of the world backwards. I also understand that if you don't get all of that property out of the house, then that's going to be a problem on you. Okay? You, on your side, don't understand that you're going to have to figure out something.
We're just gonna be homeless again.
Okay,
So we want
and
you
I
to program
don't,
homelessness
listen,
come out.
listen. There is not a good answer to any of this. For either side, because you don't want to keep going into the hole financially, right? You got to find a place to put your family. But there isn't an issue for me to should try in the case. The issue is going to be how much time to try to give to not cause more of a burden on the landlord to do what they have to do, and at the same time give you guys an ample opportunity to do what you got to do.
Days and 7 days, like, where do my right come in? I don't know the rights to this. That's why I was asking the question. When I went down to file the paperwork, they told me these are the proper channels to do.
I'm not saying that you didn't follow the proper channels. Did I say any of that?
No, that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to understand the question.
Well, hold on a second. Did you? Was there a lease? Was there a lease?
Yeah, when we first moved in,
No.
it was February 18th, 2024. Sorry.
And so when did it expire?
February 2024.
But it says 2025 on the paper.
That's because I never did this before. They told me to put that date at the courthouse.
Who told you to put that date at the courthouse?
Courthouse on Michigan Ave. And I filled out the paperwork. So it's been month to month since last year, February 24th.
Okay, so first of all, where's the other notice to quit?
I got some more. Would you like the rest of them?
Well, no, because here's the problem. You keep trying to say that you did everything proper, but now that I'm looking at this, I don't have the notice to quit and how it was served on. The notice to quit to recover property, the very first document, I don't have the one that has the proof of service.
Well, I turned that back into the court along with this receipt.
Ma'am,
saying that,
ma'am, I'm looking at the court copy. I'm looking at what you turned into the court. What I'm telling you is I do not have it. When was the notice to quit served?
Notice of proof of service, January 28th.
Where's the proof of service? What do you mean January 28th? This isn't the proof of service. This copy that you gave me, right back, that copy doesn't have the proof of service on it either.
You say proof of service, the proof that the papers were filed, or the proof that the papers was given to them?
To prove that you served the notice to quit to recover possession of property.
Yes, yes, they told me to bring that the receipt after the served. This is the,
Let me see what she's holding up there.
this the filing paper.
I don't know what you're holding up. No, that's a receipt. There's a notice of, there's a notice. Here it is, but it's not signed. I don't have a proof of service.
So I took it in.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
I had to prove that it was mailed by the server, by the US Postal Service. That's what you're talking about, the served paper. I had that in the car, it's in my purse.
What was served?
The
Okay, I'm showing, so the record's clear, the notice to quit to recover possession of the property. It has a move-out date of February 28, 2025. It says on here that you certify, this is filled out on the 14th of January, that you served this on Dustin Mickles. Doesn't say you served it on the other party, so I don't know what that's going to do. And you say you served it by first-class mail addressed to that person. Problem is,
because
I don't, what rest of what paperwork?
the rest of the paperwork where I did, went on to the courthouse, and they put, I had to show them the receipt of the postal service that I had.
This would, yeah, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about.
What I'm talking about is the papers were served. The papers even get a contact. After I served the papers, I had to go take the courthouse a proof of service with the postal receipt and everything.
I don't know why you would have to take a proof of service on this.
To make sure that it gets served.
That's with the, that's gonna be a different other filing.
Jamie Moore deliver it or have the postal service deliver it for make sure they got it. That's why they're here today in court, because they got the notice. So I don't understand what's wrong at this point. They got the notice, that's why we're here.
I have to have a proof of service that they had adequate notice. I see that document, but I don't have a proof of service regarding the notice.
Can I go get it right in person?
What's it gonna tell me?
It's gonna take the proof of services that you said you need
For what document?
for the court document paper that we filled out, sir.
Okay, you
That's
filled
why we're
out,
here.
you,
If it wasn't filled out correctly, why are we here?
because everybody would have sent notice out. You have no idea what I'm talking about. The notice to quit, you have shown me a copy of the notice to quit. Pull out your copy of the paperwork.
Can I go get it from the car?
Pull out your copy of the paperwork that you just showed.
What I'm telling you is this paperwork.
You know what? Go out to your car. You just don't listen, and you're gonna go all the way out there, you're gonna come back, and I'm gonna tell you, it's not what I'm looking for. But you go ahead, hardhead, you go ahead and do it. You guys have a seat, court's gonna stand in recess.
State of Michigan is back in session with the Appellate Jason.
Come on up. Recall the case of Green versus Mickles. Parties are present. Ma'am, hand my bailiff what you want to show me. This is what I knew you were going to go out and get. That's not it. Proof of service for summons and complaint. I'm not talking about the proof of service for summons and complaint. Because you weren't listening, you wasted all of our time. I knew you weren't going to bring it to me. The notice is defective. Or you have a document someplace that you did not file with the court. One of the two. In your other paperwork, I see it, but it is not filled out. It doesn't tell me what I would need to tell anyone. The copy that I have in the court file also does not show when the notice to quit was served.
Here, she said, it looks like everything is ready to go. And she said,
I don't know what lawyer you're talking about.
the lawyer that I ran down, she left out the courtroom. I said, I really want property. I just want to make sure I'm doing all the steps. She looked at the paperwork. She said, make sure over 10 days. If not, contact me. Because this is new to me too. And it's unfair that I have to go through this.
Ma'am, please don't talk about unfairness. Really, don't talk about unfairness. I've tried for the last half hour to try to tell you what I don't have. You keep trying to pound that square peg into a round hole, telling me, yes, I do have it. I keep trying to tell you that you don't. I keep trying to specifically tell you what you don't have, and you're not listening to me. Then you decide what you want to do is you want to walk all the way out to your car to get it. And I know what you're going to, and you're talking about the Postal Service. I know exactly what you're going to bring back to me. But you keep saying you want to go out there. So I'm going to let you go out there. You walked all the way out there. They sat here and waited. I went back, waited for you to come back. I knew exactly what you were going to show me. And it's not what I'm talking about. So if you want to talk about being unfair, it's that you don't want to listen. You want to try to make something out of something that's not.
I don't know why people feel they can argue with the judge and get somewhere with these things.
Time on the 18th.
On the 18th, 1 p.m.
Just going to say this once. If I don't have the proper proof of service on the notice to quit, that is an improper notice to quit. This is a court of statutory, well, these cases are statutory. For me to obtain subject matter jurisdiction over the case, I have to have a proper notice to quit. As of this moment, I do not have a proper notice to quit. I think that maybe there is a possibility the defect in the notice to quit can be corrected. I don't know that for sure. I somehow doubt it because you've shown me the blank one and it wasn't filled out properly and not submitted to the court. But And so, if I don't have a proper notice to quit, the only thing that I can do, since I have not acquired subject matter jurisdiction over the case, would be to dismiss your case. In fairness to you, or to try to be fair to you, if you'll listen, I will give you an opportunity to correct that. If it is not corrected when we get back here on the adjourn day, I will be dismissing the case so that nobody is surprised. If it is corrected, then I will be proceeding with the case. So I'm going to adjourn the matter to April 18, 2025, 1 p.m., giving you one opportunity to correct the defects in your pleadings. That is all I've got to say. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, hell, that was it. So she's just acting up on that. It's 9:43. I don't think I've ever done one this long. So I think we are going to get out of here, and we're going to do this tomorrow. We're going to do this tomorrow. I think I might have a guest on tomorrow. I'm trying to figure that out, but I might have a guest. I'm still working on it, but we'll definitely have some court, and we will exactly a Grease Monkey. Now we can just present the kids together. Absolutely. You guys have a great night. Thanks so much for coming out. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
He left without signing his mower.
Oh, yes.
Please.